Hello, beautiful viewers, down south throughout the cosmos. Prepare to indulge in experiencing sheer bliss, because today another riveting, captivating, stellar unboxing video is about to be brought to fruition. What item will I be unboxing? What item will I be opening? Without further delay, without further procrastination, allow me to elicit the box. What item is encompassed inside this hefty, tangible bulky box? Let's find out. I'm going to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now, and subsequently extract the item from the box so that you can feast your eyes on it. Here we go. The box has been partially ravaged earlier. It will now be more ravaged. Alright. I have prompted more packaging, more clutter. I rendered an aperture in the packaging. Now I can extract the item from the packaging. These are Power Rangers figurines engulfed in bubble wrap. Here's the set. The totality of the lot that I procured via eBay on the secondhand market. What action figure line are these figurines derived from? Let's find out. They're a part of the Power Rangers Zeo action figure line. That sounds awkward, uncanny, unusual, strange. So apparently they're part of the Power Rangers Zeo action figure line. How tall are they? They're roughly 5 inches tall. Unfortunately, off the get-go, I noticed that they lack articulation in their finger joints. They lack a diaphragm joint. They lack an ankle pivot. I presume that they possessed finger joint articulation, but I shouldn't make any arbitrary assumptions. Are they hollow? They're not very hollow. Their nails are not obscured by their plastic. They're not obscured by the action figure's plastic. They're not inconspicuous. Unfortunately, the backs of the nails are conspicuous. They're noticeable. Are they protruding out? No. But there's holes. In the figurine's back and on his legs, which is just utterly disappointing. Am I dismayed? Yes, I am. So here's a Blue Ranger. Next we have the Red Ranger. He looks akin to the Blue Ranger. The only major difference is a dominant color scheme. He's adorned with red attire. His comrade is adorned with blue attire. The nails are noticeable. Are they salient components of the figurine? They are, if they allow him to retain his integrity. These figurines apparently were churned out amid the late 1990s. They may have been produced in 1996. The Yellow Ranger is disappointing. She lacks an elbow joint. She cannot swivel her wrists. She has a tab for a button protruding out of her back. She can ascend and descend her arms. She's pretty frantic right now. She wants more points of articulation. She also wants these nails removed from her body so that she can refine her outer appearance. The other two figurines we have, part of the set, encompass the illustrious, renowned, stoic, heroic, valiant Green Ranger and the Pink Ranger. This is awkward. Her arm is pre-posed. Had I seen the backs of these figurines, and had I known that her arm cannot be modified articulation wise, I would have abstained from purchasing a lot. She's meant to wield a shield or a disc, with the caveat of being bundled with 3 accessories. They're missing the majority of their innate default weapons. These accessories have a silver or gray color scheme. They're disappointing or lackluster. These figurines, for the most part, are devoid of articulation. They have some articulation, albeit finite. Their accessories are just shoddy. At least their joints are sturdy. So I'm content with the Red Ranger if you view him from the front. I'm also somewhat content with the Blue Ranger if you view him from the front. I detest the fact that the wrist cannot rotate. I'm less content with the position that the Yellow Ranger's arms are relegated to. Her arms are pre-posed for the most part. They can only be ascended or descended. They cannot be adjusted in any other facet. The Green Ranger and Red Ranger are probably the superior figurines within the lot, just because of the way their arms are positioned. These arms are bulging outward. Do they contrast eminently with one another? I do not think so. I presume that their arms could be adjusted. I would have preferred if his arms were placed down or hanging and not positioned outward. He also has a spike protruding out of his back or out of his lower torso. It just looks awkward, and it's just unprecedented that their arms are positioned outward. Too bad that they cannot flap to the side. just disappointing that they lack an elbow joint that would have rectified nearly everything, especially if they could swivel. Their arms at the forearm and at the biceps, they can't even swivel the wrists. So I'm just not content with purchasing these figurines. The Pink Ranger is the worst. Her right arm cannot be bent, nor can her left arm be bent. She also has a major hole in her fingers. So, are these figurines dreadful? Are they atrocious? Are they abysmal? Are they egregious? Of the totality, this lot was not worse. Nearly $30. Do I have any qualms about purchasing these figurines? Yes, in hindsight I would have never purchased them. In retrospect I would have neglected to purchase them. I would have abstained from purchasing them. Only two figurines that I'm somewhat appeased with encompass the Green Ranger and the Red Ranger, but because of the way their arms are pre-posed, I'm just not content with the three figurines. So do yourself a favor and abstain from buying figurines produced by Bandai Namco that are derived from the Power Rangers Zeo action figures line. What are my sentiments about the theories? I haven't witnessed the series since I was 6 or 7, so I'm not well acclimated with the theories, but I do love action figures. I would love to amplify my prodigious action figure collection by adding action figures that are extraordinary in all facets. I want my action figures to be adorned with high quality cosmetics. I want them to be aesthetically appealing. I want them to have high quality shadings, high quality textures, and high quality sculpts. But these figurines are just lackluster in stark contrast to other figurines. They lack joints at the elbows. Their elbows are already pre-posed. Her arm cannot be bent. I would have preferred if their arms could have been bent, but because of that issue in conjunction with the nails not being obscured, they're just relatively shoddy. They're also missing their weapons, and the few weapons they do come with are just bland, mediocre, and just pitiful. If the retailers are going to charge consumers over $5 for these figurines, then they should at least have some merit. They should warrant a price above $5. But these figurines do not, in my humble opinion. This figurine, from my perspective, is worth $1 because their arms cannot be bent. These figurines, had I known about this calamity of their arms not being able to be bent, I wouldn't have paid more than $2 for these figurines. These two particular figurines are perhaps the only ones that are worse. $5 or slightly more, despite their nails being conspicuous. If their integrity is held together by nails, if their joints are bound together by nails, they should at least be covered up and hidden and not rendered transparent. Are these figurines distressed? Who knows? Their facial expressions are obscured by their masks, which, by the way, are unremovable. These are just hunks of plastic that can transcend into something else if you utilize your imagination If you neglect to leverage your imagination, then they're just inanimate objects. However, if you utilize your imagination, they can extend beyond the scope of their current functionalities. In other words, if you make stop motion videos of the Power Rangers versus the Juggernaut, or alternatively utilize your imagination to imagine them engaging in a bout against the Juggernaut, then they're simply more than action figures. They can cause your synapses in your brain to fire up and can aid you in spawning the bout in your imagination. In other words, they can help you create stories and transcend beyond just being hunks of plastic flaunted on the shelf if you have a robust imagination. So I'm done spewing gripes about these figurines from my vocal folds. They're aesthetically appealing to view, so they're nice display pieces. Other than that, they are just lackluster. It's too bad that they cannot be placed into many dynamic poses, but it is what it is. I'll just brook the circumstances and never buy figurines a part of the Power Rangers Zeo action figure line ever again. Bandai Namco typically produces stellar figurines, but this action figure line is relatively shoddy, in stark contrast to other action figure lines they've churned out over the years. So refrain from buying the Power Rangers Zeo action figure line. That's all I can say. Once again, here are the figurines. Some of the weapons. One of the weapons has fallen on the floor. Can it be consigned to the trash? Hopefully I can find it. It's minuscule. Once again, here are the figurines. Here's the Red Ranger. Here's the Blue Ranger. He's nimble. His counterpart, the Pink Ranger, is less nimble. Here are the comrades of the forces of good. The illustrious Green Ranger, in conjunction with the valiant Yellow Ranger, who strives to thwart evil and keep evil at bay, while safeguarding her fellow comrades. Power Rangers display camaraderie. They utilize teamwork to trounce anyone within their vicinity. Their bonds are unlikely to be severed. The resolve is unbreakable. Their spirits are eager to defend innocuous individuals and capable of thwarting evil. They have some scuffs, they have some minor scratches. It may be arduous to discern from far away, but up close it's a bit noticeable. But if I display them on my shelf, I'll likely be unable to see it, especially considering that my visual prowess is diminishing as I age, wither away, and as my hair exacerbates by turning gray. It's just an expression. Perhaps I'm exaggerating a bit. But I only would have purchased these figurines for about $15 at most, or possibly slightly more, had I known about their lack of articulation in ample areas. I initially presumed that they had finger joint articulation. I do like the fact that they're at least 5 inches tall, but they should have had articulation in the elbows and in the finger joints. They should have also had a diaphragm joint and articulation in the waist, but it is what it is. Their heads cannot even be turned. These figurines are relatively shoddy, so I'm glad that the figurines have improved in multiple facets post the 1990s era. So I'm done ranting, I'm done rambling. It is what it is. I cannot modify these figurines. I'm not going to refine them. I'm not going to purchase any other figurines as part of the line. So I hope they found this video to be enthralling and intriguing. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.